Ashby. Thanks very much for having us on campus. It's been terrific to be here and have a look around. Obviously been working with you for close to, what must be 9-10 years now?
9-10 years, yes, David.
Incredible to think. Could you possibly just give me an introduction to yourself, your background in collegiate coaching, and tell us a little bit more about your role here at the university?
Sure, Dave. I'm the athletic director for all of the sports at University of Maine, Fort Kent. I'm also the men's soccer coach, and I just completed my 32nd year as a head coach at the university level, and been at the University of Maine, Fort Kent for 12 years now. And we're looking forward to pushing on to even better things as we move forward.
So before University of Maine, Fort Kent, I believe you've been in a number of different states working and coaching. What's been your sort of university background in that sense?
Oh yeah, it's a long one, David. I started out at the University of Maine, Machias, as the head coach there for 4 years. I moved to Husson University as the head coach for 3. I then went to Maine Maritime Academy for 6, and then out to North Dakota at the University of Mary for 4, and down to Brescia University in Kentucky for 4, and back here at the University of Maine, Fort Kent for the last 12 years.
I'm amazed that you've got that memory level, which is incredible, really. And that's taken you across the NAIA, NCAA also as well?
It has. Yeah. I've either coached at or against every level and division in U.S. college soccer. Mm-hmm. Some of the schools are NAIA schools, some are Division II schools, some are Division III, and some have been the USCAA and or all the other ones together, so it's been quite an experience.
And what sort of changes have you seen over the sort of 32 years that you've been involved?
Really the development of soccer. When I first started coaching, a typical college schedule was 10 games, but that was a long time ago. That was 1984. And now we're up to the 20 to 25 games for men's college soccer, women's college soccer. The resources and the commitment to the sport has just grown over the years, and it's a real sport that has vitality in the U.S. now.
It's a hot topic at the moment, especially amongst certain circles in NCAA Division 1 soccer. Do you see the season expanding further to, sort of hop over into the spring schedule?
There's been a lot of talk of that over the years. It's starting to get some traction now, and I think it could be a good thing. They're talking about 10 to 12 games in the fall and 10 to 12 games in the spring, with the spring championship where coaches can stay involved for longer parts of the season, of the year.
Sure.
And I think it really helped the development of soccer, especially at the next levels as players move forward into their professional ranks. And you could have good coaches that can train for all those months. So that's a development thing that has to be looked at also.
And that helps presumably the transition into the professional ranks should players want to go down that path.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hard road to get to be a professional. But anytime that a good coach and a good mentor can stay involved with student athletes, I see that as a good thing.
Do you think the emergence of the summer leagues, PDL, NPSL, USL leagues, that can surely only be a benefit to ambitious players that are looking to go to the next stage?
Absolutely, yeah. You got to play games. You got to play games to get better. Mm-hmm. And that gives our student athletes an opportunity to play another 12 to 15, 20 games in the summertime. And it really gets into a situation where a good player who's very ambitious can play from 40 to 60 games a year, and that's a pretty ambitious schedule.
For yourself working at the University of Maine, Fort Kent, would you have a concern that Division 1 soccer would become even more elitist by having that extended calendar, and how do you think that would impact on, let's say, Division 2 NAIA programs or programs like yourself?
It could. Now players have to look to see if they want to play all year or if they want to play in a condensed fall season with spring training with their teams and spring games with the teams, opposed to a spring championship. So it would give some options. I guess there would be some recruiting conflicts between Division 1 and the other schools, but being competitive is okay. I'm okay
Indeed.
with that personally.
Absolutely. And coming back to UMFK, how long have you been at the University of Maine, Fort Kent?
I just finished my 12th season here as the head soccer coach.
Excellent. And tell us about your biggest achievement whilst at UMFK. And that could be on-field or off-field.
Oh man, a lot of achievements. The on-field achievements, as athletic director, we've won 10 national titles in the last 8 years here between men's and women's soccer, 7 for the women and 3 for the men. I guess my biggest achievements personally is our kids that graduate and go into professional coaching. I have almost 30 former players who are head college or professional coaches, and that's probably what I consider my biggest achievement as a coach and mentor.
Absolutely, I can see why. Great source of pride.
Mm.
How important is international recruiting to yourself and UMFK?
Yeah, I love bringing internationals in to the places I've been. Some of the places I've been, it's really opened the door, diversity-wise, to the universities and cities and towns that I've been coaching at. University of Maine, Fort Kent. When I came, there was 2 or 3 internationals on campus. Now we have almost 40 or 50 countries represented across campus, and mostly through athletics. So it's brought a great sense of pride into the town of Fort Kent. It's really connected the university and townspeople together, and it's really helped the town and the university as a whole to really take some steps in the diversity field.
Absolutely, and you can tell that by walking around campus and meeting kids from Jamaica and Scotland, England, Czech Republic, Spain, I think, India even.
Yeah.
So it's been really incredible to see that, and what is probably in the grand scheme of things a relatively small town in the US, but it's got a lot of things going for it, and I guess the local community benefits from that as well.
It does. Just this year, Dave, the local high school team was coached by one of the former graduates, a young man from Jamaica who also works on campus now, and his assistant with 3 other Jamaicans that play for us. So that spilled over into the high school ranks now, and they've had great success in the high school ranks. They made it to the state championship match this year, and it was nice to see there are people involved in the high school level.
Absolutely. And do you encourage your international students to be as active in the community as possible?
We do. We actually take the next step. We do some community involvement programs. We do some programs with the junior high and high school, and we do some programs at the nursing homes also with our international students or athletes. So we want to stay connected to the town we're in.
Absolutely. So tell me, if you can, what kind of characteristics do you look for when you're recruiting international students or student athletes?
This is easy, and some people think that I switch around, but it's not. So I look for a good person first, who's a good student and a good athlete. Those are the 3 things I look for in that order. And if we can find that, our success rate on and off the field has been great, and we want to keep going down that path.
Absolutely, and I can totally see why. It's one of the things that I recruit for as well. I like to sit down and meet the families and meet the kids. And that's the little thing I call it's an intangible. They can put their academic grades down in front of me, and I can check that pretty straightforward. Obviously, their athletic ability, it's sometimes a matter of opinion.
Yep.
And I feel I'm well qualified to give that opinion because I'm pretty sure of what I'm looking for. But it's the personality that has to come across, and sometimes that's the trickiest thing. But
it is.
Been doing it long enough that I've got a fair idea of what that mystery ingredient is to make those kids ultimately see it through. And by seeing it through, I mean getting on that plane for the first time, leaving their families behind, and arriving in the US, and it's a big deal. And there's only a select few every year who actually see it through. But typically, when they do arrive, they're successful, and that's down to people like yourself.
The student athletes has to have that drive. They have to have that good moral compass that drives them and being a good person. And it ties the other 2 together, the academics and the athletic part of it.
What would you say an international recruit would bring to your team dynamic, let's say in a soccer sense, obviously?
Well, not even the soccer sense, but just a cultural sense. I think we have like 9 different countries in our men's soccer program. So they all come with different styles, different opinions, different systems, different things that they find that they think are important in their style of soccer, and we're able to mesh and mold that all together into a successful program.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. It's each player has different teams they support in the professional ranks, and to mold that all together into a unit, it's fun, it's challenging, and it's really eye-opening.
From your experience, what would you say Scottish or British players, what type of characteristic as a player do they bring to the team?
Yeah, high energy, committed to play, like to get stuck in, like to play at a high, fast pace, and that goes well with the Jamaican players. Similar, the same style, but just a little bit of twist on it. And then you throw in a Serbian and a Spanish player in there, and it makes it very
more
interesting.
Technical, perhaps as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely. Let me just see here. what do international students bring to the university campus? I know we've spoken a little bit about this. It's a question that I had. What do they bring to the sort of campus, community, student body? And then going back to that, what challenges do international recruits face, and how does yourself and the university help them to cope with those challenges?
Yeah, quite frankly, our international student athletes are leaders on campus in all departments. Several are RAs, resident assistants in the dorms. Many are on student council. Many lead all the different student groups on campus. So they've really infused themselves into the fabric of the university and the fabric of the town. Now, on the other side of the coin, it can be challenging sometimes because people come from different countries with different views, different opinions, and different opinions from different countries in the U.S. here. So to mold that together, to make it function, sometimes there's some rough spots, and sometimes you have to negotiate, and common ground has to be found, and we've been able to do a good job with that at the University of Maine Fort Kent.
Absolutely, it sounds very much like that. I have to ask you, we've obviously had a number of Sport Futures USA student athletes over the years, and the one I want to kind of bring particular attention to is the lads that won the back-to-back national championships.
Yes.
That was a proud moment for myself. It was a proud moment, I know, for the players, but for yourself, that must have been a great moment to finally do that as well.
Absolutely. You know, winning national championships is hard, no matter what 3 or 4 letters in front of the division you win. When you get to the final games, it doesn't matter. Those are good teams. Those are good players, and to be able to do it back-to-back years, with Sporting Future guys playing major roles in that for us, down the spine of the team, that was a great accomplishment to beat a great team like Bryant Stratton 2 years in a row out of Syracuse in PKs, and to march through a tournament where you have to win 4 games in 5 days. It's tough.
It's hectic schedules, yeah.
Yeah, injuries become involved, fatigue becomes involved. You've already played 20 to 23 games by the time you get to the national championship match. So to pull that off 2 years in a row, it just speaks great volumes of the quality of people we have.
Great. And I guess obviously that team spirit that's created when these kids graduate, they stay in touch. It's almost like a band of brothers, family unit, whatever you want to call it. And you'll have seen that over the years as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely. When the freshmen come in, we talk quite a bit about, these teammates. They're going to be the people you're going to be involved with for the rest of your life. They're going to be your business partners. They're going to be the best men at your wedding. They're going to be godfathers to your children. They're the people who are going to speak at your funeral. These are the connections you're going to make over the next 4 years here that's going to last a lifetime. And it does. We have kids that have graduated 10 years ago who still reach back and help other teammates with jobs and finding new jobs and business partners, and it just goes on and on and on. So the connections they make here in the first 4 years of university is connections that last a lifetime.
And that spans the whole world.
It does. Absolutely. Facebook, social media, it's great. I stay friends with players that graduated all over the years from 30 years ago. I have guys that played with me at the University of Maine who make contact and connections with the guys who play with me now and graduate now, and it all ties together. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that. What advice would you give to international students leaving high school, thinking about it, families thinking about it, coming over here and becoming a student athlete or a general student?
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give them?
I would take the opportunity, because it's going to change their lives, and it's going to change the lives of the families that they're connected with. It's going to go deep, and it's going to go broad. Just making different contacts in different countries and picking up different things from different people, and getting an education from the U.S. That's recognized around the world for the most part. It's just going to open up so many doors of opportunity. It's going to open up doors of opportunities that you couldn't even imagine. And it's nothing. I've seen nothing but success from it, and I've never seen an international kid that's come and stayed 4 years that was disappointed at the end.
Sure. If anything, it goes too quick.
It does.
You mentioned yesterday that you had 2 of the boys from our programme and they couldn't believe it was 4 years or just about to finish.
It did a while ago. A month or so ago, I had Tom Cox and Stuart Conway sitting where you are right now. lamenting how quick it went and all the fun they had and the place they've been, the people they met, and the experience they had, and they can't believe it's over, and they wish it could last longer.
Absolutely. Well, I wish my own time could last a bit longer on campus, and as I say, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to meet with us and show us around the university in the local town. It's been absolutely fantastic, everything I hoped it would be. I've been sending recruits over here for a number of years, Bill, and it's nice to come and actually put some faces to the names, but obviously just see the success that these boys have had and how that's impacted on the university and it's impacted on the local community. So I just want to thank you personally for that as well, and as I say, thanks for taking the time out.
Well, there's no question, David, Binnie, Sporting Futures, University of Maine, Fort Kent Soccer, University of Maine, Fort Kent itself is tied together for infamy here, so it's going to go on and on.
Hope so.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank you.